a monthly rate of benefits, how do you calculate that into an hourly and then take credit for that fringe? So the DOL already has that. They established that in the 70s. And they've had it for years and years and years and years and years. And they do it for apprenticeship contributions and all this other good stuff. So the state is now saying, hey, they've had the model forever. Let's just replicate the model. I challenge anyone on any of these emails to show me that they've read all of the labor codes that I have read. There isn't anything there for them to oppose. Like when I come back and say, you do federal work, it's already done that way. Why are we creating this issue out of nothing? Because it's not changing materially anything. I have been researching this bill, really trying to get to the bottom of the problem that they're trying to solve here. It would be good to get some legal, input on this and see really what the true impact is, or what the unintended consequences could be of this bill. They pass these bills thinking they might be doing a good thing, but really not fully understanding the repercussions. This is the thing about legislation. In order to understand legislation, you need to go to all the other parts that it's referencing. So this references Labor Code Section 173.1. 1731 says annualization per diem, how to take fringe credits. But wait, there's more. You need to references 177.5. The Department of Industrial Relations over to 177.5, which is right over here. And then it also references the Department. This stuff is so crazy, technical. Really, truly understanding what the purpose and what the effects of a particular legislation will be is taking time to do a deep dive research on the multiple elements that it's referenced to fully understand how that could impact a business, a construction business, an employer, and an apprenticeship program. So I just got up here from San Diego. I took the flight up. I'm in Sacramento, California, to advocate for our workers to make sure all workers have the opportunity to work on construction projects. Do you really want to know how the sausage is made? We go to the Hill and we talk to our representatives. And the biggest thing for me is choice. Choice should be up to the individual on whether they want to be part of a union program or part of a merit shop program. And affording those opportunities and keeping that open is what we go talk to our legislators about. We presented an award, a Eagle Award, to Congressman Darrell Issa because he's a champion of the merit shop. He's got a long history with San Diego, so it was a real pleasure to be able to award him that honor yesterday. The moniker for ABC is get into politics or get out of business. So I'm out on Capitol Hill in DC and also in Sacramento. The biggest thing for me is to make sure we communicate about our workforce back in San Diego.
Hi, my name is Greg Gutierrez. I am the immediate past chair, ABC Central California, also the current chair of ABC California, and the regional vice chair for ABC National for the Pacific region, and the president CEO of Truett Corporation, and I occasionally sit in a chair.
Back in 2015, our main customer, who we've had a contract with dating all the way back to 1980, they signed a project labor agreement. In that moment, we didn't realize that it was going to exclude us from being able to work on the job sites that we've been working on for 30 years at that time.
What's a project labor agreement?
So here's the thing. A project labor agreement is essentially an agreement between organized labor and the project owner. Now, we can debate the definition of a project labor agreement until we're blue in the face. But here's what it does. Think about it like a football game. We essentially have on one side the merit shop. On the other side, we have organized labor. And in the middle, the project owner, that's the referee. Now, prior to the game ever starting, the referee and organized labor come to an agreement that ensures the merit shop always loses. Now, I don't know about you, but I like a good competitive football game.
ABC did a good job with outreach to us to, give us resources on what a project labor agreement was. If there's ways that we could comply, could not comply, the pros and cons. So they really did a good job on the educational side of that.
Most elected officials don't understand that 80% of the workforce in the construction industry is non-union. So when you pass legislation or policies that only benefit unionized workforce, you're actually hurting 80% of the workforce. How I work with the chapter presidents is there will be a bill that negatively impacts our apprenticeship programs. I have to sit down with the chapter presidents and tell them, this is the bill, how can we make it better, what can we do? And if there's nothing to make it better, then we have to decide what's the strategy on how to stop the bill? How do we get people to vote no for it? How can we make them understand that this policy doesn't help Californians as a whole?
I think the greatest thing for ABC is that we have the ability to get on common ground pretty quickly with our issues. People don't necessarily want to be in a red box or a blue box. They just want more middle of the road, sensible policy. Really, when you get down to the bottom of it, when it's about workforce development and when it's about advocating for people to have opportunities to better their lives, that's a bipartisan issue.
So we're here today at our Leadership Institute for ABC National. We also have our National Board of Directors meeting, so it's a great time for us to vote on issues that we have in front of us and for new members to get involved and learn about how they can better participate.
There is camaraderie among the Pacific Region chapters. Being on the West Coast, we're very much alike, struggling with the same issues. We have a great board who is very supportive of the apprenticeship and workforce development, and we know it's a long game, and we will continue to advocate.
The lawmakers, they don't fully know exactly what they're doing in every single subject. How would they? In our state, it's anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 bills that are getting put out at the state level. They're not going to be experts in all of that. And so they do rely on us, on organizations like Associated Builders and Contractors, to educate them in that. And then also educating our members. They need to be aware because they are open shop and they do have a voice. And so the more people that we can get to speak up and have a voice, the better it is for the construction industry as a whole.
I think it's also really important that we work outside of our universe, outside of our communities. Our neighbors, they may work for a union shop, they may work for a merit shop. We all know ultimately we need to come together for the greater good.
And that's my favorite thing about ABC is we make such a difference in people's lives. Whether it's through training, defeating legislation, introducing legislation, and knowing we kept so many people of color and second chancers employed, making a good livelihood was so rewarding.
At the core level, we are providing opportunities for people to better themselves. And isn't that the name of the game in life? Giving a person an opportunity to upskill and to provide for their family and to give them a career for life. And a lot of times it's hard to talk about that and to a legislator or convey the importance of that. We bring our apprentices to the legislator's office and they'll literally tell us, okay, you can stand over there, bring the apprentices in, and they'll sit down and have a real conversation with them. And they're fascinated with the stories. We've got military veterans that served 20 years in the Marine Corps, didn't find a path forward, found it through the apprenticeship program, recently took their family to Scotland for 3 weeks. There's, women who didn't think they could have a place in construction. We recognized a female electrician at our graduation recently. So those are the stories that the legislators want to hear and why it really resonates when we talk about keeping the opportunities open and keeping it to choice. They say, okay, I'm listening now. So thanks for joining us on this journey. It's been such a wonderful and fun ride. It's all about the people. These are incredible people, and this is why we do what we do. They have phenomenal stories and so many yet to be told. I learned that legislation that happens in this building really impacts our workers and our workforce, also impacts the job creators, the small and mid-sized contractors that struggle to do business in California. And so that's why we do what we do. We advocate and engage in the construction industry. Continue to follow us on social media and stay classy, San Diego.